What about the fact that new gambling laws give Blackpool the green light to become a British Las Vegas? What do you make of that? Are you a gambler?
Little bit when I go on holiday, like going in the arcade and having a little flutter.
Sure.
What's your favourite?
I have a go on the, the fruit machines.
Yeah.
There's a good one called The Simpsons.
Right.
Is that your favourite?
Yeah, it's quite good.
Is that a tie-in with the TV show The Simpsons?
Yeah.
Okay.
Will they make Blackpool the next Vegas? I don't think so.
No, nor
Can't
do
see
I.
it happening.
No. You been to Blackpool?
Yeah.
What was it? Was anything?
It's a bit rank.
Is it?
It is a bit rough.
Okay.
Needs a lot of work doing on it.
Yeah.
No, that won't happen.
Okay.
And you're not worried about this encouraging gambling, generally? Gambling's not a vice you're concerned about?
If you're a gambler, you're a gambler. Do you know what I mean? If Blackpool isn't done up, they'll go somewhere else to have a flutter.
Sure.
So it's not going to make any difference.
Okay.
No.
Okay, it's really good. What do you make of the So Solid crew's Ashley Walters being jailed for 18 months? Obviously not a very good example to his young fans.
He should have got more.
Do you think?
I had a dream about him the other night.
Go on.
About the group itself.
Okay.
I had a dream that...
Were they all there? Because there's a lot of them.
all of
I couldn't remember all their faces. The picture in a dream.
I had a t-shirt on.
He had etc.
Exactly,
Two
yeah.
of them had etc. Yeah.
I had a t-shirt on.
You had a t-shirt on?
Yeah, and it said on my t-shirt, So Solid Poo. And I was walking down the street and they came towards me. And they were just about to beat me off.
That's a great dream.
That's amazing.
That's an amazing
I love that. We've all had
30-year-old.
We've all had that anxiety dream. Oh my goodness, what if I meet the So Solid crew and I'm wearing a t-shirt that slags them off?
Oh, I don't believe it. Yeah, yeah.
So what happened? Did you get beaten up in the
It was one of them where I woke up. Do you know I've been telling you that I keep getting them things where you feel like you're falling?
Oh yeah.
It was the same sort of thing. It's
You
like,
know I'm not a real psychiatrist, so you should, you know what I mean?
You do know a lot about a lot.
Yeah, I do, thanks very much.
And, if I'm at home talking to Suzanne about something and I don't know the answer, I think, right, I'll ask Ricky that one, see him.
Yeah.
Thanks.
But you know that, I think you might have mentioned before that apparently if you die in a dream, it means that you're dying in real life.
Yeah, well that's it, if you don't...
But apparently if you get beaten up by the So Solid crew in a dream, it means you're being beaten up by them in real life.
Yeah, that is true.
So you probably woke
a
up
lot of
with
people
a
have
your
been
face.
Yeah.
Terrifying. Absolutely terrifying.
So yeah, lock him up for longer.
Okay. Finally, what do you make of Halle Berry becoming the first black woman to win the Best Actress Oscar? Did you see her speech?
Got on my nerves.
Did it?
I mean, it's good that she won. It's nice for anyone to win an award.
Yeah.
But she did go on a bit. And, I've been in that same sort of position.
What? Collecting an Oscar?
Well, I got, what they used to do at school is,
Okay.
if you did a full month without being off, you got a gold certificate.
Okay.
And I did a month once without having a day off. And
Sure.
I went up, and I didn't do it make a fuss.
You didn't start crying.
Go on, play a record, mate.
Well done, though. Were you the first kid in your school to do that?
I don't think anyone else got the certificate. It was only because I was never in. They tried to encourage me to come in.
It was just for you. They mounted an entire ceremony just to encourage you.
Wise words there from Bella Sebastian on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Matchin.
Well, I mean, it is indeed wise words, Rick. I'm worried that people are going to get out of the office now and into the sunshine and not be listening to the show.
There's always the transistor radio.
That's true enough. You're heading down to the park. Take it along.
It is time.
Keep it low, though. Don't want to irritate other people.
No, yeah. And if you do want to irritate him, spit on him, it's better.
Exactly.
And kick them and throw little rocks.
Exactly.
With me, Karl Pilkington. We're into this, way into the second month of the education of Karl. As you know, Karl got 1 GCSE in history and E. And, we've been cramming, haven't we?
Oh, Rick, before you mention that, can I just say something? Obviously we always do this thing with the Sun, White Van Man, where we read this thing out from the Sun and query, Karl, and we met with some friends last night, and my friend Dan always listens to the show, and he said, Karl, I love the bit when you answer the questions in the Sun. Why, do you ever know what the questions are before they're asked, or is that your first answer? And, Karl said, no, that is it. They don't let me see what the questions are first. They don't show them to me, and I always get really anxious and get really paranoid. And I was just wondering, have you seen the error there, Karl? Have you seen the mistake you've been making? Right? You're worried that you didn't get the questions beforehand, right?
What? How could you
maybe combat that, do you think?
How could you combat that if you're really nervous, coming
Maybe you wanted to sort of have some views or ideas beforehand?
It's your error, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's your show if you want to, take a chance with me.
No, his point is this, that if you're really worried about it, how could you get hold of those questions in advance? Is there any way you could get hold of those questions in advance?
Yeah, but is it always in today's? Is it always in Saturdays?
Yes.
So they don't do that every day of the week?
They do, but I always take it from this Saturday.
Right, well, yeah, I could, but that would cost me money. I'm not on enough as it is working here on a Saturday.
Okay.
How much is the sun?
30p.
Yeah, well.
You're not made of money. I understand.
Yeah.
Actually, it's 40p on a Saturday. I don't know what I was thinking.
Well, you were studying Aesop's fables, weren't you, this week? Now, I'm going to be very liberal here and let you talk about it. It's not a test. I'm not, hey man, just like chill out. I'm not this like rigid sort of, box in society. Just tell us your views. Just tell us your vibe on Aesop. Tell us something. What have you learnt from these fables?
He, made a bit of money out of something that's quite simple.
Yeah, I don't know if he did make any money out of it. I mean, I think it was published like thousands of years after his death, but go on.
Yeah, they're just little stories. I mean, enjoyed them.
Yeah.
Didn't learn anything from them.
Or did you see? Because it's teaching through sort of like metaphor and analogy, and maybe it all seeps in and it's all subliminal, and maybe in a way your subconscious is teaching you.
No, it's silly, Rick, it's silly.
If the stories were done in like a real way, that there's like a man and a woman, and it's a little story that's may happen to them in life, then you learn something. But it's all about, a gorilla and a fox are walking through the woods. How often does that happen?
Sure. So you're saying if it was more like
if it was more true to life,
if it was more like
real stories, like a kid on his grifter and a magpie pecking at his head, or two frog boys with webbed hands. I mean, if it was real stories from real life
that people could believe, actually happened,
maybe it would teach us something.
But why not do that? Like take a real situation, say like the So Solid Crew guy,
yes,
going down for carrying a gun. Use that in some way. Do you know what I mean?
As a warning, maybe about carrying guns?
What about something like, if you carry guns and that is illegal, you could have some sort of punishment?
Yeah, that's
good.
So it doesn't bother you then that the fact that these fables have been used for many, many generations to educate maybe young children or even older people, the fact that they've served a brilliant function and they've become classics, that doesn't bother you? You've seen through them?
Well, they don't always work.
Okay.
When I was out with Rick the other day, he brought one up.
Oh, I told him the one about the two mice, the industrious mouse who, throughout the summer, he would be storing berries, nuts and berries, and he'd be storing it, and the other ones would just be eating off the trees and running around and having a laugh, and they go, well, you're going to become hungry, and he'd go, oh, I'll worry about that when it comes to it, and they'd do that, and he'd be storing his nuts and berries, and autumn came, and the mouse was still playing and not doing anything, and then winter came, and the silly mouse was, like, shivering, and he went and knocked on the mouse's door, and went, I'm freezing and I'm starving, and the clever mouse said, well, I told you, didn't I? You should have been storing your nuts through winter like I did, come in and share mine. And, what did you say, Carl?
Well, and the moral of that is whatever.
Just be careful. But my thing is that it's not very good, because the moral of that is do what you want, and there's always a do-gooder, a share there.
Sure.
Yeah. But the way I think, which is more sort of 2002, the ending should have been, the guy with all the berries should have, been going, oh, I'll be alright come the winter. I've got loads of food, I'll be safe. But then, as he's going into his little hut at the beginning of the winter, some sort of bus or something comes and kills him. Right. And it's like...
You should have partied hard, because you might die.
Yeah. Enjoy life whilst you've got it.
Yeah. Okay, and if winter comes, just starve to death.
Well, worry about tomorrow.
Okay. See, I'm wondering if there's a new book here. I really am wondering if there's a Karl's Fables.
He's been coming out with some all week. He keeps going, well, that's a fable, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what's your favourite fable in there? Have you learned anything from this book? Is there one fable you liked?
Yeah, I mean, they're all alright.
What did you like?
You're throwing it on me now, there.
Didn't you like one about a crab, you said?
No, that was the one about messing about on a cliff edge or something. Don't mess about on a cliff edge. Well,
what was that?
I don't know. There's not many around here, so I didn't take much interest in that one. You know what I mean?
God.
I'm
doing my best here.
You don't remember any?
Here's one that was quite nice. There was a belly, like your stomach.
Yeah.
And it's this belly on a pair of legs. And the legs was saying, I'm more important than you because I carry you around. And the belly said, yeah, but, if it weren't for me, holding all this food, you wouldn't have the energy to walk around.
Yeah.
And that means, rather than working on your own, it's best to work in a team.